Welcome to the deep dive. It's great to have you with us as we cut through the noise. Today, we're getting into the UK's brand new 10-year industrial strategy just unveiled. Our mission, really, for you, is to unpack what it's all about, the main goals, the industries involved, and, the actual steps they're planning to boost growth. And to help us break it all down, we've got our expert with us. This should be really insightful.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yeah, looking forward to digging into this. It's pretty significant.
Absolutely. So let's dive right in. This strategy launched June 2025. What's the big picture? What makes it comprehensive? And who's it really aimed at?
Well, I think the key thing is the scale. It's a full decade-long commitment. It's not just a quick fix. The aim is broad. Economic growth, better productivity, and also thinking about long-term sustainability. And it specifically targets eight key sectors. We're talking advanced manufacturing, clean energy, creative industries,
Okay.
defense, digital and tech, financial services, life sciences, and also professional and business services. Quite a list.
That is a wide scope. So these weren't just picked out of a hat.
No, definitely not. These are areas where the UK either, already has an edge or where there's a real strategic need to grow. It's also about tackling existing problems, things like high energy costs, those persistent skills gaps, and infrastructure holdups.
Right, those sound familiar. So how is this strategy different from, say, previous government attempts at industrial policy?
I think the main differentiator is the collaborative approach. They really emphasize that this was developed with businesses in partnership. The idea is to make it more practical, more grounded in what businesses actually need to invest and grow.
Okay, that makes sense. Less top-down, perhaps.
Exactly. Trying to avoid some pitfalls of past strategies that maybe felt a bit detached from the coal face, so to speak.
That collaboration point seems vital, especially as you mentioned with energy costs. Businesses are really feeling that. How does the strategy actually plan to help?
Right, there are some concrete measures here. For instance, there's a new British industrial competitiveness scheme. Starting in 2027, it's set to cut electricity costs by up to 25% for, I think, over 7,000 energy-intensive businesses.
25%, that's significant.
It is. It involves exempting them from certain levies, like the renewables obligation. That alone could save them maybe up to £40 per megawatt hour.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not just about the bottom line. It's strategic, trying to prevent industries moving abroad due to costs, keeping those, high-value manufacturing jobs here.
I see, like preventing that carbon leakage issue.
Precisely. And there's also the British Industry Supercharger Scheme. That one boosts the network charge reductions, the cost of using the grid. It bumps the reduction from 60% up to 90% for sectors like steel, ceramics,
Yeah.
those really heavy users.
Okay, so direct help with the bills. But what about the physical side? Getting connected to the grid in the first place can be a nightmare, right? Infrastructure bottlenecks.
Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to tackle that with something called the Connections Accelerator Service. The goal is to speed up grid access for big industrial projects. Prioritize the ones that create good jobs and bring wider economic benefits.
Because those delays can kill projects.
They really can.
Yeah.
Years, sometimes. So this service is meant to, well, accelerate things, as the name suggests.
Makes sense. Okay, moving beyond costs and infrastructure, what about people? Skill shortages are always a big topic. How's the strategy addressing that?
That's definitely a major pillar. There's a $275 million investment earmarked for training and apprenticeships. It's focused on those key sectors again, engineering, defense, advanced manufacturing, and the like.
And where does that money actually go?
It's funding things like new technical excellence colleges,
Yeah.
specific short courses in areas like AI and digital manufacturing, and also capital upgrades for existing training providers across England, getting them the latest kit.
So, investing in the workforce pipeline, what's the hope in terms of job numbers?
The government's projecting support for about 1.1 million new, well-paid jobs over the next 10 years.
1 million.
Yeah, and the emphasis is on well-paid. It signals a move towards higher-skilled, more future-focused roles, ideally.
Right, trying to build a more resilient job market across the country. Which brings us to regional development. Is this strategy trying to spread the wealth beyond London and the Southeast?
Very much so. There's a strong emphasis on unlocking potential in cities and regions right across the UK. It's about attracting investment regionally, helping create environments where businesses can grow locally, building that sustainable, resilient growth nationwide.
But making it actually happen on the ground, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Absolutely. Success really boils down to effective implementation. It needs that ongoing collaboration between government and industry to actually work.
Yeah.
And crucially, it needs to be adaptable. The economy changes, things happen. The strategy needs to be able to respond to feedback and, evolve over the 10 years.
That flexibility seems key for any long-term plan. Well, thank you so much for walking us through all of that. It's a complex strategy, but you've really helped clarify the main parts. And for you, our listener, listening, in what parts of a national strategy like this do you feel are most crucial for long-term prosperity? How might some of these ideas play out in your own region or your line of work? Something to think about. That's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. Stay curious, keep engaging, and we'll talk to you next time.